Rees Mogg for PM Backbencher favourite to take Theresa May's job in new poll. A new survey from the Conservative Home website shows Mr Rees Mogg leads a field of 3 ardent Brexiteers tipped for the Tory leadership. Mr Rees Mogg, recently installed as the new chair of the Tory European Research Group, got 21% of the vote, up from 18% last month. He was closely followed by Mr Gove at 16%, up from 14%. And Mr. Johnson on 14%, up from 12%, in the survey answered by 1,304 party members. At the end of last year, members said they wanted Mr. Rees Mogg to be given a cabinet position, but the MP for Somerset was left on the backbenches. He has insisted he has no interest in challenging for the party leadership, but is becoming increasingly vocal in his criticisms of the government and the way ministers are handling Brexit. And the backbencher has been a constant critic of Chancellor Philip Hammond, whom he has accused of breaking from the Conservative Party's stance on leaving the EU, and warned Mrs May she had to deliver the Brexit people had voted for rather than burn Brexit in name only. It comes after he made an allegation in the House of Commons about a group of Treasury officials which has provoked a huge backlash from civil servants. Mr Rees Mogg asked Brexit Minister Steve Baker whether he had been told Treasury officials are using specific economic modelling to try influence Brexit policy. He alleged officials within Philip Hammond's Treasury Department are deliberately seeking to promote staying in the customs union above other options. Speaking in the Commons on Thursday, Mr Rees Mogg said, "Will you confirm you heard from Charles Grant from the Centre of European Research that officials in the Treasury had deliberately developed a model to show that all options other than staying in the customs union were bad, and that officials intended to use those to influence policy?" He asked whether Brexit Minister Steve Baker shared the view that the revelation goes against the spirit of the Northgate Trevelyan reforms that underpin our independent civil service. In response, Mr Baker revealed he had heard the claims and ministers must now proceed with great caution. However, he denied having evidence the claims were true. Mr Rees Mogg's account has provoked a huge backlash, with the FDA, the union representing civil servants, describing Mr Rees Mogg's allegations as a half-baked conspiracy theory and accusing Mr Baker of allowing the claims to go unchallenged. General Secretary Dave Penman said, "Every day civil servants put their personal views to one side and work tirelessly to implement the decision of ministers, and they do so with a professionalism that puts the likes of Mr Baker to shame."